Hi and welcome back to my channel. 2 days ago I asked you guys on Instagram whether or not you wanted a decluttering guide, video, minimalism, keywords. So here you go. I am happy to make this video even though I am not the biggest minimalist there is in the world. But I felt 2 days ago, 3 days ago maybe, that I really wanted to declutter my desk, the one that is behind you, because very soon we're moving and I thought I could just get the process started right away. It would be much easier. So that is what I have been doing. And now I have a few tips regarding my process and the tips that I found very useful. So here goes. The first tip is try to incorporate spring cleaning when you declutter, or the other way around. When you spring clean, try to include a decluttering process. And this was super helpful because that gave me a chance to clean a little bit as well, and I would have cleaned 2 days before, after, anyway, so it all ended up saving a lot of time, and then I really got to go through all the stuff. Secondly, when I decluttered, I made piles and I gave specific plants and names for these piles. I had a recycling pile, instant recycling, I had a later recycling, and I had a charity shop pile, and I have a friends and family pile. So the instant recycling pile was for paperwork, things I can recycle in my area that I'll just go and be done with. Then my later recycling pile was for stuff like old outdated electronics. And I still have them in here, and the plan is basically that someday or at some point I'll have the option of driving, and then I will go to a recycling place and they will receive my old electronics and they can be taken apart and recycled, and some parts, and it will be done properly. And then I had, what did I say? Oh, I had a give this away to friends and family pile, and that was stuff like old makeup and old jewellery. And then I had a charity pile, and that was stuff I know neither my family nor my friends are interested in, but maybe some other people will be. So that's also stuff like, there's some clothes and there's some accessories and some knickknacks and decor stuff that I know they'll probably like, some people will like. So that is for charity. So I made all these different piles, and I had specific purposes and plans for each pile that were super helpful. Another tip that I found really helpful was trying to stay focused on one concentrated area. I only did my desk, my working desk, and that was it. So instead of starting Monday morning decluttering the entire house, it becomes much and becomes a lot, because it is a very time-consuming process, at least for me, because I have a lot of stuff. But that's why, if you do, like me, have a lot of stuff, it's a great idea to just stay focused on one area and then get through with it and get it done thoroughly, instead of just being half-assed all around the place. That's not really very helpful. So do one piece of furniture maybe. If you're really courageous, do one room. But I did my desk, and in the end of the video I will show you what it came to be. Unfortunately I do not have any before pictures, but you will get to see the aftermath. And yeah, also another tip, when you're decluttering, I read this on thousands of blogs. Thousands is maybe a little much, but you know my deal. But I read about this 1 year rule, and I have heard about it in different contexts, and actually I think it's rather helpful. It goes like this: if you haven't used these things in over a year, then throw it away, because then you'll never use it. However, I made a few exceptions to this rule that I will also explain in a minute. But I think this rule is really helpful for stuff like clothes and accessories and knickknacks and just materialistic stuff. I think the rule is fantastic for materialistic stuff. But I came through a lot of old cards and letters and photos that I haven't looked in over a year, but I decided to save them anyway, because I know that someday they will have a huge value for me. They have value now, but I think they'll be even better in a few years. So I saved that in an envelope, but before everything just floated around and did what it thought it could do. No. Now it's in a neat envelope, and I'll just put everything that is concerned with letters, photos, stuff like that. It's in one envelope so it doesn't look too messy. So yeah, this tip concerns value and what kinds of value different items can hold. And I think if it's only materialistic, if you're only holding on to it because it was expensive, or because you really liked it, or because somebody gave it to you and they thought you'd like it but you really didn't, then just give it away or sell it or give it to charity, something like this. Never throw out, because there are never reasons to throw out perfectly good clothing, perfectly good jewellery, perfectly good... Yeah, just don't throw it away. There are tons of stuff you can do with it. I commented on Facebook that if you guys had any tips that should be included or were very helpful to you, they could comment and leave them in a comment. But one person wrote that she usually did that when she bought something new. She had to get rid of the same equal amount of stuff that she bought. That does not concern groceries, I presume. But when you buy a new vase, then you should give something away to charity or to some of your friends. So you always have the same amount of stuff, so there is nothing to declutter at some point. I think that's really helpful, because a decluttering process is not something you should be doing every 6 months or every year, because then you're doing it wrong. And that leads to my last tip. That is, try to learn from the mistake. It's not supposed to, like I just said, be something that you do over and over and over. If I have to declutter this desk once a year, then there is something wrong. So try to learn from my mistakes. For instance, I found that all the jewellery and all the clothes I gave away and will give away is something that I bought from new, something that I bought in high street stores or department stores, and the value fell completely right after I bought them, because either they didn't fit right, they didn't feel right, they didn't look right, something like this. All the stuff that I end up being really happy with, and all the stuff that I end up wearing to death, is something that I got in the thrift store, my mum found for me in the thrift store, but all the new stuff kind of loses its value along the way. So from my decluttering process, I'm now 100% sure that I do not need stuff from high street stores or department stores. Even though it looks great in the window or on the mannequin, it does not feel great on me, and there's something deeply wrong with me buying it. So experiences, learning, you see, it's awesome. These are some of my experiences, some of the things that I will be taking with me, and some of the lessons I learned. And when you go through all this stuff, try and find lessons in all your mistakes, because decluttering is actually just removing mistakes and errors. So try to learn something from them instead of just disregarding them and not thinking about them and then doing the same thing all over. I think that's the most important thing, because that way you will never have to declutter again if you do it once. So I would really love if you have any tips given to me. I would love it. If you like this video, can you give it a thumbs up? That would make my day. You can also subscribe to my channel, because I would also be really happy if you did that. And you can follow me on my blog, Gittemary.com, and on Facebook, facebook.com/thepictureofmary. And of course also on Instagram, where I'm also known as Gittemary. All the links are down below in the description. You go ahead and go crazy. And see you guys in the next video. And now I want to show you my desk, so bye!